Welcome back. Today, an announcement. I'm going to start a writing project. As many of you know, I've been writing many years back about my adoption, about my journey for identity, for healing, for mending trauma, also my experiences just traveling around in India and the parts of India where I'm born, visiting temples and so on, the spiritual aspect of it all, mythological stories as well. But I think a lot of that material is therapeutical and maybe more for myself on my own journey. Maybe one day I will be brave enough to try to get it published. Let's see. But I have the idea to, and I will do that, to write a few short stories during May, June, and July about the struggles for ordinary people in a cyberpunk, fantasy-esque, mythological world. Why is that? I think the cyberpunk as a genre is very interesting because it's a kind of warning sign if we choose to interpret that in that way, what society can become, or maybe in some ways already has become. And that setting in itself, I think, is very suitable for portraying the struggles of people wanting to climb up the societal ladder, people who falls down the societal ladder, and also people who are just um, living there and don't want to be in this very fast society like the cyberpunk society is. Maybe they are calm, they are peaceful, they are philosophical, they are on their own journey. So there's a lot of things. I also would like to put this in a Scandinavian context. Scandinavia, maybe 100 years forward, how it look like. Will obviously be dystopian in the frame around the story, but I hope to give hope through the characters and the stories I describe. So I will try to do this. I've been, without knowing it, enjoying cyberpunk for many years. As you know, I'm an avid fantasy reader and mythological reader as well, so I think I can try to blend it in at least through one or a few point of view characters. So if that sounds interesting for you to follow, please stay on the channel. If you're already here, we are actually growing, and if you're new, please join the channel. There are a few things I would like to show you because I've been in Gothenburg recently visiting a friend, and we were looking for books, and I will show you the books I found and the books I'm currently reading, and they will sort of put the ground or a base level for my ideas of writing. So the first book I bought was Philip K. Dick, and that is Do Androids Dream of Electrical Sheep? I haven't read it yet. I know it's a classic. I really enjoy Blade Runner, not really thinking that was, of course, it's cyberpunk, but I never thought of that much because I'm so much into fantasy. So this one I will look forward to read. Have you read it? Please tell me what you think. That is, of course, part of my journey in writing now. I would like to become as much scholar in cyberpunk as I am in fantasy. I also bought the Altered Carbon. That is a book that is also a Netflix series. Um, I'm focusing on Neuromancer at the moment. So I've just started just to take a peek into this book about people who can die, but when they die, they get a new skin, so to speak. So that is interesting, I suppose. They can literally not die, at least not the body, but the body gets a new set of characteristics and personality, it seems like, but I might be wrong. So this is interesting to me. I also bought this comics, which I enjoy. I have a few of them, cyberpunk stories. I also enjoy the video game. Very brutal, of course, if you compare it to my normal way of being. But I think there is something in the tension between peaceful, brutal, the struggles, and the contradiction of society. We learn to be good, right? And obviously that's not how the world always looks like. So I thought this could be a great setting for having my stories and having my plots and the characters I would like to tell you about. That is fighting for meaning, basically, in this world. Hopefully, it will become exciting too. I'm reading this one very fast at the moment. That is Neuromancer. Neuromancer. William Gibson. No surprise for you, I suppose, watching this. Classic. I enjoy it a lot. I think one of the main things with this book is the blend between cultures, languages, themes, styles. It goes to furniture, it goes to clothing, it goes to music, it goes to dialects, accents, everything. It's very, it's very non-essentialistic, so to speak, if you get that. I think you do essentialism, meaning things are fixed. We describe people in stereotypes, basically. But this is very far from stereotypes, even though it is laid the ground for cyberpunk, as I understand it a lot. So there we have the cyberpunk thing. I will talk more about that. Why cyberpunk? Why could that be interesting? If you play Cyberpunk 2077, there is a tarot card. I mean, that is very interesting in itself. I would like to blend this with this Swedish version of The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Might sound strange, but this idea of having philosophical characters in the story is intriguing to me. I think the stories are very heartbreaking, both in cyberpunk, both in grimdark fantasy, and both in light grimmer dark fantasy. You know, I usually like to explore other kinds of fantasy too, that is maybe more hopeful. But from a perspective of writing, I'm interested in telling you something, maybe learning you something, and maybe I can learn from you. And that is all the contradictions we have in the world. Still, we find meaning, we find hope, we find a way to survive. I think that is an interesting story to tell, and there is also a lot of warnings that we have today for coming future when it comes to technology and where we lose humanity, the human connections between ourselves. I'm quite far in the Great Hunt. How can that affect my story? I think it can, because I think it could be interesting to follow some kind of fellowship in this kind of story. Let's see. I'm also reading this one, Sarah K. Balstrup. Will take a little while, Sarah, if you are watching this, but the tension or the relationship between organized religion and fantasy is very interesting. I think that is a setting that you actually can use in a cyberpunk environment too, and tell stories around. So then you have all the political intrigues. And because of that, I'm showing you Shogun, which I'm about reading now with Rick here on the channel. And the intrigues here are interesting for a kind of cyberpunkish story, I suppose. In a Scandinavian context, I was joking with a friend during the weekend. We called it moose punk, moose cyberpunk, cyber moose punk, cyber elk punk. Well, why not? Sounds very strange, right? Maybe not something for the algorithm to pick up, but maybe it can become something fun. It's very important to do things that you think is fun, and you're doing it for the journey, you're doing it for the ride, and you're doing it for all the beautiful connections you can get with people who are also writing. So if you are writing, please tell me. We can have contact, of course. This is actually a book I've had quite a while back, Cyberpunk, the comic. I really enjoy these ones, and it might sound a bit, surprised. I sound surprised or maybe clueless, saying, "Oh, I didn't know I had so much cyberpunk." But actually, it's so. Sometimes it's so. Fantasy has been the main thing for me, as you know. But I would like also to explore a new genre. I'm curious on the manga Akira, so if you have read that, please tell me. Please tell me if I should read it or not for this project. And as I say, I would like to mix in a lot of fantasy stuff in the storytelling, like tarot cards, for example, as I talked about already in the cyberpunk story. We have things I can maybe use from other inspirations, from more mainstream science fiction, but also from the mythology I read. So let's hear what you think about my ideas here. They are a bit vague at the moment. You can help me to make them clearer. And I would like to, from time to time, maybe read something for you as well here on the channel. And if you would like to become a beta reader, so to speak, please leave a comment or write on my community page. You will also find an email address to me if you want to get in contact in person with me. So I'm doing this for the joy. I doing other things. I have a regular work and so on. This is a kind of hobby. So I would just like, before we finish, to encourage you to follow your heart, to do what you like, and try to have fun, and don't think about all the negative distractions you can have in life. Do other things instead. I know it's easy to say, but at the same time, there is no other solution. So until next time, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and bye.